Many of you know that Cantor Sharon lost her father this year. In fact, she just concluded her year of saying Kaddish for her father. And a few weeks ago, I asked her if she wanted to give the Yiskor sermon this year, if she wanted to share some reflections about her father. And she thought about it for a second and she said, no, I can't do that. And then a couple of days later, she sent me a text and said I couldn't sleep, and I wrote the Yiskor sermon about my father last night. And she shared an early draft of the sermon with me, which was just incredibly beautiful. And I know you've worked on it since then, Sharon, and I'm honored that my dear friend and colleague, Sharon Knoller, is going to share some reflections with us now.
There's a first time for everything. It's my first Yiskor sermon. And I stood on this bema for the first time these high holy days as the sole cantor of Temple Beth Shalom. And also for the first time, I led high holiday services without my father in attendance. For 23 years here at Temple Beth Shalom, and a few more prior to those in Basking Ridge, he sat up towards the front, comfortable in his aisle seat, absolutely kvelling. Even last year, when he wasn't physically able to attend in person, he made sure that the staff at his assisted living facility had the live stream hooked up so he could watch his daughter, the Cantor. My father would have loved to have seen me in this new role. I just finished saying Kaddish for him this week, and truthfully, since his passing in November, the most recurring thought I've had about my father is that he would never get to see this moment. He waited a long time for this. I remember the morning when Mel Jacobs reached out on behalf of the Personnel Committee to offer me the position. Mel's call came almost immediately after I had hung up with my father. He was already failing and had become quite difficult by that point. He was angry with me for something I did, or more possibly something I did not do, and we hung up, issue unresolved, and still angry. I called him back after my conversation with Mel, and to say my father was thrilled would be an understatement. One would never have known we had just spoken minutes earlier. He was so proud, and more so, he was validated. Because he always knew I'd be right where I am now. At least he lived long enough to be told. I just wish I had his mirror. You know, the mirror. The one, when you look in to see your reflection, you instead see better. It's like seeing what your loved ones see in you. It's your reflection minus the self-doubts, the hesitation. It's just endless abilities and potential. Yeah, that one. My father offered me that mirror many times. I wish I had accepted it sooner. So I'm sure you can understand when I say this holiday season has been bittersweet. There is so much sweetness because I carry the joy of this milestone with me. I'm here doing a job I love, part of a community that I love, working with colleagues who I love and respect, and still bitter and sad because the person I most wish could be here to see it is not. It reminds me of Moses, who did all the guiding, encouraging, and praising for the people of Israel, leading them through the desert, teaching them, holding them accountable, and inspiring them, but he himself never entered the promised land. Like Moses, my father deserved to be here for this moment. And I'm sad for him to have come so close. I can only hope that he had already seen it in his magic mirror. I know that every one of you in this room, sitting here for Yiskor, understands exactly what I'm talking about. Whether our mirror is that of a parent, a child, a close friend or family member, You are seeing in that mirror the love that lives on in you. And it's at life's milestones when we most strongly feel the loss of those loved ones. The wedding they missed, the birth of a child or grandchild, birthdays, graduations, or in my case, professional accomplishments. In the same way, when we stand for Yiskor, it is bittersweet. We carry with us both sweetness and sorrow, the sweetness of memory, the richness of love, and the sadness of their absence. Even one of our forefathers had a mirror moment. Our tradition tells us that when Joseph faced his greatest test in Egypt, he looked up and saw the image of his father Jacob in the window. That vision gave him strength. The window, like a mirror, carried Jacob's image with Joseph, just as we carry the image of our loved ones. In the reflections, we can see them with us, while not in body, but in spirit, at each of these milestone moments, full of love, joy, pride, and the hopes of endless possibilities. Just as Joseph carried Jacob's image with him, we carry the mirrors of those we love, and those reflections remind us of who we are and who they always believed we could be. Rabbi Harold Kushner teaches that our lives are the sum of the people who have loved us and the people we have given our love to. So as we rise for Yiskor, we are really looking into those precious mirrors our loved ones left behind. My father's mirror and his reflection is here with me, as is my mother's, and as is the reflections of all of our loved ones. They will continue to shape us and carry us forward. So let us lift up those mirrors once again so we may see ourselves as they saw us, full of potential, full of promise, and full of love. And for these few minutes, we can see their reflections sitting right alongside us. May their reflections continue to guide and inspire us to be our very best selves. And may their memory be a blessing today and always. We continue on page 290.